Do you ever find yourself imagining the worst outcomes? If so, just know that you're not alone because I do the exact same thing and I've done so for many years. So today's video, we're going to talk about how to regain your peace, your sense of being, and most importantly, forward thinking to stop imagining the worst about situations. So I'm going to give you 3 steps today. We'll talk about those, and just remember, this channel is about professional growth as well as career growth. So we're going to always intertwine the two and make sure that we're holistically healthy so that as we transition into new career paths, new steps in different phases in life, we have all the tools that we need to continue to be successful. So let's talk about these 3 steps. So step 1 is acknowledging your thoughts. You have to recognize the potential for the negativity that may come as you start thinking about the negative outcomes. You have to remember that our brains are connected to our hearts. And the funny thing about that is anxiety, that feeling comes from preconceived notions. A lot of times you think about the ending before you even have the facts to know what the ending will be. You talk yourself out of situations because you're afraid. That's all based on the chemical compositions of our body. It's human tendency. I still do it to this day, but what I've learned is I've learned how to manage it. And that's why the first step of acknowledging your thoughts allows you to slow down the spiraling and the down spiraling pace of your thoughts whenever negative things come into place. Just remember to always think and say, is this really true reality? Is what I'm feeling from the past going to affect my current future now or the present now? Or will it affect the future if I don't sum everything up and do it properly? So that's step 1, acknowledging your thoughts. Recognize that your thoughts has the ability to take your power, the power that we possess internally to speak things into existence. We can kill that. Even our thoughts, we can think something and take ourselves out of the positive reaction. So there is power in our thoughts as well as power in our tongue. So step 2, challenging your fears. So this is a powerful one, and here's the reason why. We have the ability to take our fears. You can write all your fears down on one side of a paper. And on the other side of that paper, talk about all the positive things of that fear and all the negative things of that fear. And you'll start to realize that everything we do, regardless, is going to have a positive and a negative outcome based on how we decide to handle it. Fear is not even a real thing. We create fear. Going back to the thoughts I just stated concerning our mind and our hearts being connected. Our mind controls every single thing in our body. It's like a message highway, if you will, within our body. Your mind sends signals to different parts of your body. Your mind might say, hey, I want to walk to the kitchen. So your mind sends a signal to your legs. Your heart starts pumping more because you need more blood to walk. It's a signal highway. So anytime you're able to control the signals, your thoughts, the emotions and the chemicals that are released whenever certain things need to happen will also be controlled. But yeah, as you take that piece of paper, write your fears down. And then based on those fears, have a positive outcome and have a negative outcome. Here's something else cool when it comes to challenging your fears. I thought about this really hard. I'm going to give you a quick illustration here. So as we look here, check this out. When you see the word live, what do you think of? When you see the word live, what's the first thing that comes to your mind? Life, breath, we're breathing. But guess what? When you take this word and we do this, live, the opposite of live is evil. That goes back to the good, the bad, plus negative. Everything in life that we do will always have a positive and a negative portion to it. We're in control of what happens though. We're in control of this middle piece right here. All this middle. This is where we can take the 3 steps that we're discussing. The first step was acknowledging your thoughts. Acknowledge your thoughts and what could come from living and the evil aspect of living, just as an example. The second thing was challenging your fears. Take your fears, create a list of positives and negatives from each fear. Those are 2 things that we can do. And the last thing that we're going to talk about when it comes to imagining the negative before we even know the outcome is this last step. It's practicing mindfulness. Now, here's a really good one. We've already talked about it. I'm going to illustrate it again. So this is you. We all have those 2 major components I just talked about. We have a heart. This heart controls 99% of outcomes in our body. And it's all based on what our brain tells it to do. Our brain sends signals to the heart, and then the heart radiates. There's chemicals throughout the body, and that's a connection that we always need to remember. If you're able to control your thoughts and practice mindfulness. It allows activities like meditation, deep breathing. You can even do yoga, play basketball, tennis, go bowling, whatever you need it to do. If you practice positive mind thinking, practice those positive mind thinkings, then the heart will respond and allow you to be positive versus worrying about an outcome that you don't even know the facts about. Those are the 3 steps: acknowledging your thoughts, challenging your fears, and practicing mindfulness. Remember, it's okay to be anxious, but don't allow it to control you. Don't allow it to control your mind or your heart. Start implementing these 3 steps now. And I do believe that it's going to help you for the rest of your life to stop being so frustrated and having anxiety about things that you can't control. Stop imagining negative outcomes and take control of it from the standpoint of flipping it. Do not worry about the past. Don't worry about the future. Only focus on the present. If this video was helpful for you, like, share, give this information to somebody else, subscribe, and remember to continue to break codes. And I will see y'all at the next video.